Welcome to the full moon for July. It's the first super moon of the year, and it's filled with so much powerful energy. So really, the powerful energy really started on July the 1st, and it has been taking us all the way through till the next 3 days from now. So today is the full moon. So it's the 3rd to the 6th. You're going to be feeling this strong energy that's boosting up everybody's really sense of purpose. And if you haven't figured it out by now, we should start doing that, because July, and some of us say, is the beginning of the new half, which means the new world has already started, meaning that things are going to go quite quickly, whether it's going to be through the currency world, which is already starting already. I'm not talking about Bitcoins. I'm not talking about stocks and bonds and all of that. All of those are really going to get affected. And so why I'm saying that is because a lot of these old way of doing lifestyle business is starting to crumble. Not started, it's already have crumbled. And if you watch my last segment, I talked about people is going to start to expire. And it started already, whether it's Madonna, whether it's Jamie Foxx, or whether it's who knows who it is. Sometimes we may think, that about this person that, I have to be very specific. I have to be very careful, because nowadays the media is really there to do whatever they want to do. And so, one of these kind of things, like every time I'm looking through my YouTube, if you get a strike or if you get a copyrights or this and that, in fact, it had nothing to do with anybody. And this one person, because he was in it for a little while, he actually threatened me and called me up and say that he's going to call in to put a strike on my account if I don't do X, Y, and Z. And that I need to do this way and that way. And so this is how a lot of things are going to change, So we need to be very careful in how we speak, because even in public, if we say he, she, we, them, I, like I mentioned from last year, it's going to hit and spike a lot of anger on either direction. And those are the kind of things that's really going to start to really come deep into a lot of subject. Whether it's going to be new lawsuits or new rights for the human rights, or, who knows? Maybe things are just really changing so rapidly and so weirdly, in a way that we're not used to seeing what we're seeing right now. I mean, I'm looking at videos where you never ever thought that going to a gasoline station, just putting in gas, that you can get slashed because a whole group of kids riding their bicycle decides to do that. I mean, it just happened like literally down the street. I know where it is in Beverly Hills. And so, all these sites, whether it's in Beverly Hills or whether it's in Chinatown, downtown Kaka'ako, or wherever it is, things are really going into many different directions, because when we used to do bad things or devilish things or things that is not good, people used to hide. But now it's like they don't care. They do it all in the open. And so that's what it's really going to start to change. I mean, like, I can't explain how many things are going to change. Whether it's the real estate market, whether how homeowners are really going to start to seek on, especially people who have invested a lot into rentals and things like that. Those are really going to be playing a huge part coming up, during fall, winter time. It's sad what's going to happen. And so this full moon, as we call it, the super moon, it's really a time to buckeye yourself into the next half of this year, because whatever you think and whatever you bring in, that energy will carry forward for you in 2024. And today, I just finished doing yoga. I feel good. And, they made, some barbecue for us. And, I kind of ate a little, mostly of my asparagus, my vegetables and stuff, and stuff like that. But really, it's time to be focusing on your health. And when some of us, the way we see breakfast, for example, I put this on my post. Breakfast is really, when you wake up in the morning, is really taking a break, because while we sleep, we really encourage our body to repair ourselves while we rest. And that's why in yoga, for instance, we do savasana, which in between, we really let our body rest while the blood, the oxygen is doing its work to our inner organs, our inner self, our inner architecture that a lot of us don't really take care of. Superficially, there's so many things that we can pretend to do, right? We can pretend that, we eat right. We can pretend that we exercise. We can pretend that nowadays, we did weight loss. Instead, they take some other medication or shot or whatever. We can pretend that we did this whole entire garden ourselves. We can pretend so many things, whether it's with filters or no filters. It's just a filter of life is things that we got really accustomed to. What is real? What is fake? Because we can always pretend, and that's the reality of life that we really can't see. And so that's why it's so important for July is to stay grounded. And just so happened today is July 3rd, which is Meditation Monday. And so I'm making today into like a chop suey day, because today has so much interesting energy that's just really out there to set the stone for, like I said, the next half of 2023. And people, it's so funny, because when I tell my staff, I tell my team, I said March 1st is when we're going to really start to explode on our Minical Microbubble System, the machine. And it did. And I said to them, if we do it right in the next 3 months, we're going to go in the summer to a next level. And what happened? You can see it. We are featured the #1 on the pet product news on the market. Who else? Coco Jour. New product news, and it's there. Nice write-up that it just happened. And so when I tell people, when you meditate, it gives you that mindfulness to manifest things. And that's why by using this way of energy that we have, this tools that is there, some people continue to understand and how to use it. Some people just, use it whenever they feel like it to use it. But for me, I really focus, concentrate, meditate, and manifest that. And people say, yeah, right. Well, you know what? I just showed you exactly how to do it because it manifests for real. No joke. It's like things will happen. Like I was just like the other day I saw this, and it was funny because the first person that I sent it to was my dear friend, and he's literally in another world, in another country, doing something so spectacular, and he literally wrote back. It was like 3:30 in the morning, and he wrote back, genius. I was like, wow. For that to be complimented by this person, and by the way, who's actually a billionaire, and this person is so down to earth that you can't even think it is. It's like right here, genius. And I'm like, thank you. So when you get confirmation from somebody who's doing things that's right in the world, and knowing that I know what this person is doing and spending all his energy and making a difference in a bigger way, because he has the means and the ways to do it. And for him to compliment that means that I am going forward in a very good energy way. And it really comes down to the energy that you surround yourself with. When you have people like that never even knew that what you were working on, all of a sudden it's like, boom, okay. You're in the same level of how you really want to spend your life, your lifestyle, in changing, changing for the goodness of the world. Some people say, oh, we have changed, we are doing this, we are doing that. But really, feel it from your ground up, feel it from your heart and soul, And so when you wake up one day and you realize that, why am I sleeping next to this person? Or why am I have to take care of this person? Or why am I doing this? Am I really happy because I decide to be that bossy person? Think about it. A lot of times relationships starts to crumble when you know that you control to a certain point, but to that certain point, the other person becomes your burden. I hope that makes a lot of sense, because that's what happened to me. I thought I could, everybody else was married. I'm almost at this age of 30, it's 29. I gotta get married. I gotta feel this. I gotta, these things were all lined up because that's what, once again, society wants to create. And so I fell for it and I did it. And then while I was in it, I literally, my inner architecture of my body, my inner organs, my inner soul twisted, where I literally became allergic to my ex-husband and things that was around me. It's a true story. And I had to walk around with the EpiPen in case I might break out. I wasn't happy. even though I felt like I was in control, because yeah, I bought this house, I picked this house, I financed this house, I did XYZ for this house. You know, a lot of people said, oh, okay, from the outside, maybe it's the guy who she got the house from. No, BS, honey, no, that never happened. I had to end up paying my ex-husband. And so those are the kind of things that we sometimes don't know, because we were so hungry for getting it our way. And by doing that, we feel that by being in control, there's not really any wishy-washy to go for the next goal, to go for the next thrill or happiness, because it's all of your control, idea, fantasy. You know, and I just posted this thing about intention, you know, your intuition. When you feel in your heart that intuition of, and your gut and everything tells you that, you know, whether it's this person or whether it's this business deal or whether it's this new job or new things that you want to take challenge of, your intuition is much stronger than any of this imagination of goal, fantasy, whatever, because we can keep on pretending to be on cloud nine and pretending that it's all great, like materialistical things. But when it comes down to it, reality and intentions and intuitions comes from here. And so that's what we need to start to focus really during the supermoon energy, because what we put in our intention, what we say that no longer serves you in this full moon, because full moon is the time to say goodbye to things that no longer serves you. I mean, whew, I was cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and digging and digging and digging, you know, and taking out all the things that no longer, I mean, I had dead vegetables, dead this. I can keep on being upset at my garden and saying, who the F screwed up my garden? You know, and I look at it every single day. I wake up and there's like, it's sprayed again, or there's some kind of thing that's happening that we're not in control. I'm not in control. I can call somebody, the cops or anybody, and say, hey, my plants are dying, you know, what are you guys spraying up there, right? You can't do that. It's out of our control. But it is something that is happening. Whether people say it's global warming, whether people saying something is not different, it's because if you are keen to your surroundings and if you feel Mother Earth, you know what feels real and what feels not so real. And that's the exercise that we get every day in our life, is to really go barefoot, feel the ground, feel what it is, feel this vibration, feel this energy, feel this really synchronicity of life. Because once you start seeing things, I swear to God, last month, I don't know how much synchronicity numbers that kept on popping. It was like boom, boom, boom. And it's like, okay, what's next? You know, I want to say stop it, because if you say stop, you're going to manifest the stopness. So I said, keep on going. And I kept on going. You know, and that's what it is. When you say what you feel, that power of energy to create things to happen, to manifest. You know, some people call it luck. It's not luck. It's called the drive in your engine, in your chakra, to awaken and feel that energy. And in order to do that, you need to ground yourself down. I don't care. I mean, you can be a freaking billionaire or you can be a freaking homeless person. It doesn't matter. As long as you know how to really bring in that joy, the true joy that you're going to be wanting for the next, I don't know how much time, I keep on saying it, for the next 20 years. Because it does go in a 20-year circle. Whether you started yesterday or today, it is what it is. And so I've been practicing this, and my company is going to be 21 years. It's already done in May, and we're going to heading off to the 22 years. And so people's intentions are really how you want to take yourself, because we're not going backwards. We're going forward for the new era, the new generation, the new ways. I mean, we can, like for me, I'm bringing back the old of just using the power of water, because that's life. That is the key of life. I mean, it's so simple. Like my neighbor, we finally got say goodbye to one, and he had some issues, and he finally left, and so people are much more relaxed, the energy over here. And today my other neighbor popped out and wanted to talk story, and it's just, he always wanted to, I really didn't want him, to tell you the truth. I was just like hiding in behind of it, because he wants to recruit me to go to his church, to his get together, to do this. And that's where what I'm talking about is stand your ground, and just, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Why are you saying yes to things to bring in more problems or more issues or more things in your life that you really don't need? Focus on you. This is the really strongest thing that I can say. It's not being incentive. It's not being stuck up. It's not being anything. This is what you need to really do for the next 6 months, because things, whether it's like a year of survival, really, and I said this from the very beginning back in 2020, is really the striving for the fitness of who you are inside, than more than what it is in the outside. I mean, like all the top brand, whether it's Balenciaga or whether it's Gucci or whether it's Hermes or whether it's Yeezy, all of those things are really going to start to explode and switch the way we see things in merchandise, things we see, because of the huge change in the frequency of the financial way of money. Currency is going to start to affect a lot of these things, especially the trade, whether it's bringing in the things and taking it out from different countries and things. It's just really, people, it's going to get quite crazy. That's all I can say. So anyway, so this meditation Monday, it's really put together with the new moon, the super moon, because last month we went through the Mercury retrograde. We went through so many changes, but this changes for July, like I said, and it happens, gosh, I don't know when was the last time this energy of level of how the planet is moving. It happened in between 2004 and 2006. And when you look back, what you were doing during that time in 2004 and 2006 will be a reflection of what's coming through to us this year. And I hope that makes sense, because it does. When I look back in 2004, literally, I won an award for my cooling products for innovation and creativity from Dog Fancy magazine. And now, look what I'm getting recognized. And that one, I only use water. Is, all you have to do is just soak it in water and it becomes cool at 65 degree, no refrigeration needed. You can use it multiple times. I get people say, I still got it a decade later, that. And really, it's just an eco-friendly product, just like our Miracle Micro Bubble with the power of water. So I've been doing this for a very long time, and again, here I am, where our product, and I'm so proud. When you're proud, you're proud. And here it is, exactly how I say it's gonna happen, and then how I manifest. We're number one, representing Hawaii. They have like the 12 products that they do, and they put us on top. And it was so cool because when I was talking to them, they actually remembered me. They're like, wait a minute, weren't you doing something else? And I said, yeah, I did my doggy wear. And we won an award with Dog Fancy magazine. They're like, I remember you at the New York Pet Fashion Week. I was the MC for the very first one, she told me. And I was like, oh my God. And what makes it real interesting, she was my neighbor all this time, living out in Beverly Hills down the street. So it was like, what? So things that you didn't even know, it exists somewhere, somehow in this world. As long as you know and you keep this momentum of being grounded and having that gratitude, no matter what we do in life, things will always come around in full circle. So whatever I always believe there is a reason for a season for a lifetime. And so whether you're going through a divorce, whether you're going through a marriage, whether you're going through having a new baby, or whether you're finding a new job or just retired, July is the month to really analyze, like I said in my last month's video, to cross the T's, to dot the I, meaning that you need to take a good exam of yourself and where you stand right now in your heart and your soul. Look at your relationship, because relationships put a very strong key point, a key hold to your future. So which key turn solution are you going to pick for yourself this summer? Really take the time and make sure in the next 3 days to write down what no longer serves you, or what you've been doing with bad habits, whether you've been spoiling somebody way too much and they're taking advantage of the situation. Start cutting it. Now, I'm not saying fully cut the relationship. I'm just saying pull out from certain things that you've always been too generous and too nice and too giving to. Because sometimes when we don't know, they use that to take advantage of certain ways. Like, oh, but I help you do this. So you feel bad and you just kind of go along. But then if you don't get back the mutual respect, because life is really about respecting each other. Life is really about understanding how you want to be treated at the end of the day, right? If they do it on, you can feel it. That's why we have this thing called the gut feeling. Start using it, because it really going to start to work. So really work on your intention, your intuition, your gut feeling, because that is the guide ship to where you're going to go forward. If you live in this la la land, this fantasy land, this self-absorbed, control world that you want to control everything and make sure that things happen your way or the highway, that's not going to start to work. Because at the end of the day, ask yourself, are you truly happy? And you know what? To be honest, many people, you think they're not talking bad, but they are. Maybe because you hurt them in so many ways that you didn't even take the time to look. So that's what I'm saying, because all of these things will backfire this mirror effect. So get ready for this unbelievable ride, this transition of life. Some people will expire, very famous people that really had to do what at that time, back in the 70s, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, and I'm going to repeat myself saying this. These are the people that's going to start to say goodbye into another world. And because you know why? They were controlled by some unknown ways, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, because if you're one of those people, you need to start to change and start to see what you're actually doing in a bigger way. And that's how you're going to be much more happier, much more successful, and most of all, people will be much more grateful to the new ways of how you see life. So you take care. Enjoy this beautiful super moon that we're going to go forward with, back to back to back. I'll write those dates down again, and enjoy. And don't forget to say goodbye, to get rid of what no longer serves you, so you can bring in the goodness of the new moon coming up in a couple of weeks. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I took you into my dojo to feel this heat. I cleaned it out. Oh my God, I cleaned everything out except I still need to, because of, I don't know why, but this mirror, we need to clean it. Give it a good clean out so you can also see yourself every morning. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you truly happy? If not, start looking into changing your behavior. So stay tuned for more of Coco's Your channel. We have lots of tips about dogs. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to sign up for a newsletter at cocojor.com, spelled COCOJOR.com. And also visit our cocojorchannel.com pages, where I have the whole entire thing about Cocojor. See you soon, and most of all, enjoy the super moon. Aloha.